Welcome to Unknown War, a channel devoted to the exploration and understanding of the forgotten battles and conflicts that have shaped our world. Our mission is to shed light on these lesser-known stories, revealing the courage, resilience, and strategic brilliance that often lie hidden beneath the surface of mainstream history. Today, we're uncovering an inspiring tale of Indigenous American triumph against foreign invaders. But before we unfold the saga, let's ponder on this. Who was the Indigenous leader who guided his people to this remarkable victory? To understand the importance of this victory, we need to set the stage. Imagine, if you will, a time when tension hung heavy in the air, like the calm before a storm. A clash of cultures and a struggle for survival set the backdrop for this historic battle. The year was 1775, and the cause of the war was as complex as it was inevitable. An intricate tapestry woven from threads of territorial disputes, cultural misunderstandings, and the relentless tide of expansion. On one side, we had the indigenous tribes, led by charismatic and strategic leaders who understood the land they were fighting for. On the other, the invading forces, bolstered by their superior weaponry and a conviction that they were destined to conquer these foreign lands. These key figures, their motives, their strengths, and their weaknesses, would all play pivotal roles in the ensuing conflict. As tensions reached a boiling point, both sides prepared for a battle that would change the course of history. The stage was set and the battle commenced. The first rays of dawn painted the sky as the indigenous warriors and the invaders squared off. The battlefield was a vast plain, nestled between the towering mountains and the restless sea. On this fateful day, the indigenous warriors, led by the indomitable Chief White Eagle, numbered in the thousands. They were a formidable force, their spirits unbroken, their resolve unshaken. On the other side, the invaders, under the command of General William H. Harrison, boasted an equally impressive force. Both sides were a formidable mix of seasoned veterans and eager young soldiers, their hearts ablaze with the fervor of battle. The indigenous warriors, relying on their intimate knowledge of the terrain, adopted guerrilla tactics. They moved like shadows, striking swiftly and disappearing into the wilderness. Their arrows were like deadly whispers in the wind, unseen until it was too late. In contrast, the invaders, trained in traditional warfare, formed tight ranks and marched forward, their muskets gleaming under the rising sun. However, this was not a battle of numbers or weapons. It was a battle of wills, of cultures, of destinies. The indigenous warriors were not merely fighting for their land, they were fighting for their way of life, their customs, their future. The invaders, on the other hand, were driven by a vision of conquest and expansion. The battle raged on, with each side displaying courage and tenacity. Their war cries echoed across the battlefield, a testament to their determination and resilience. The battle had begun, and its outcome would shape the course of history. As the battle intensified, a turning point emerged. It was an indigenous leader, a man of great courage and wisdom, who held the key. His name was Red Cloud, and he would be the one to lead his people to victory. Red Cloud was a brilliant strategist, using the terrain to his advantage and employing guerrilla warfare tactics that kept the invaders on their toes. The invaders, accustomed to traditional warfare, were unprepared for the hit-and-run attacks and ambushes that Red Cloud and his warriors used to great effect. However, victory came at a cost. During the heat of the battle, many brave warriors fell. Among them was Spotted Tail, another revered indigenous leader. Spotted Tail fought valiantly, but was tragically killed in a surprise attack. His death was a blow to his people, but it only served to strengthen their resolve. In terms of numbers, the indigenous forces were vastly outnumbered. Yet, their intimate knowledge of the land and their unyielding spirit tipped the scales in their favor. The invaders suffered heavy losses, with hundreds of soldiers either killed or wounded. The indigenous people, on the other hand, lost fewer warriors, though each loss was deeply felt. As the dust settled, it became clear. The indigenous people had won. Against all odds, they had successfully defended their land from the invaders. Red Cloud, in spite of the loss of his comrade Spotted Tail, had led his people to a monumental victory. But this was more than just a battle won. It was a statement. A message to all the invaders that the indigenous people would not be easily conquered. It was a rallying cry for other indigenous groups, a beacon of hope in a time of darkness. The indigenous people emerged victorious, a win that would have far-reaching impacts. This victory would echo through the ages, a testament to the courage, resilience, and indomitable spirit of the Indigenous people. It was a turning point, not just in the battle, but in the history of Indigenous resistance. In the aftermath of the battle, the landscape of the region was forever changed. This wasn't merely a physical transformation of the land, scarred by the violence of the clash. It was a shift in power, an upheaval of the status quo, a testament to the indomitable spirit of the Indigenous people. The Indigenous forces, under the leadership of a man whose name has been lost to the annals of history, emerged victorious. They had stood their ground against the invaders, their numbers significantly lesser, their weaponry not as advanced, yet their courage unmatched. The cost of this victory, however, was high. Both sides suffered heavy losses, the exact numbers obscured by time and the chaos of war. The Indigenous leader, the man who had rallied his people against the mighty invaders, fell in the heat of the battle. His death, though a profound loss, served as a catalyst, a beacon of hope and resistance that spurred his people on to their eventual victory. This battle, though not widely known, had far-reaching implications. It was a turning point in the history of the Indigenous American people, a beacon of hope and resistance that spurred them on in their struggles. It was a testament to their courage, their resilience, and their unwavering determination to protect their lands and their way of life. Now, to answer the question posed at the beginning, who led the Indigenous forces to this historic victory? The truth is, we may never know his name, lost as it is in the folds of time. But his legacy, the spirit of resistance and resilience he embodied, lives on in the hearts of his people. This victory is a testament to the courage and resilience of the Indigenous American people. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more untold stories from Unknown War.